Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Sheepdog Preparedness. You got Kenny back with you as always. And Thanksgiving today. So, tried to think of a subject to cover for Thanksgiving today, and I thought about doing something on food, but that's one that's going to be a long, dragged-out video that's going to take a lot of dragging out of food storage items and recording and editing and piecing it all together. So since there's not a lot of free time on Thanksgiving today, I thought, well, I walked past my library stack of survival stuff and thought, what better than to cover but the subject of the library. So I'm going to talk about that today. What's in your survival/preparedness library? First little book that I always have enjoyed using is the SAS Pocket Survival Guide. Nice little book. There's anything and everything in here. Campcraft you see on that page. There's a big section on campcraft, food, hunting, climate and terrain, health. It's all in here. This is a book that I keep in my bug out bag. Handy little book, pretty slick. I think it was like no more than $5. It says $8.99 on there. I think I gave $5 for it. Excellent little book. I've also got the military survival guide. If I can dig it out of the stack here. This is the standard issue U.S. Army, Department of the Army survival manual. I've got you can see on the back here what all's covered in this book. These are great. These things are awesome. I've also got a digital version of this on my Android phone that is an offline thing so that I can pull it up and use stuff from it anytime I want without even having to be connected to the internet. Excellent little book. Here's a great one here, James Wesley Rawls. If you've ever been on the website survivalblog.com, tons of good stuff on that website. It's an excellent resource, and the dude knows what he's talking about. This is a really great book. Water, food storage, fuel and home power, gardening, medical, communication, security, bartering, it's all in here. Great book. You can get this one from several sources online. I got this one from Midway USA. I always keep the latest copy of the Farmer's Almanac around. Excellent information in here. Planting calendars and all that good stuff. You can't, do gardening and canning and things like that without knowing when to put things in the ground. So this is perfect. I'll be getting my 2018 one bought any day now. Advanced Bushcraft. You see who the author is on this one, Mr. Dave Canterbury. Everybody's familiar with Dave. He knows his stuff. You're not going to find anybody that's a more renowned expert on bushcraft stuff than that guy. Excellent stuff in this one. So this is a good one to have around. One of my favorites right here, The Survivalist Family. Joe Fox, Pastor Joe from Viking Preparedness. I talk about his channel on here all the time. If you're not watching Viking Preparedness, you need to do so. Subscribe. Watch every video that Pastor Joe puts out. The dude knows what he's talking about. Former Special Forces guy. Runs a preparedness community in the Ozarks. You're not going to find anybody that is more overall well-rounded, knowledgeable in survival and preparedness than Pastor Joe. And this book is excellent. You can pick it up on Amazon. Got a little book here that I picked up at a book sale, Growing Your Own Vegetables. Great stuff. Food storage and survival. This one covers tons of stuff on food storage. There's recipes in it. There's charts in here to help you keep track of what you're storing. It gives you suggestions on storing certain items. It's got ideas on how to go about storage, how to make storage racks and everything. Peggy Layton, this I believe is another book that came from Midway USA. They've got a pretty decent survival library they sell. Cover this one next since it kind of fits in that same category. From seeing some of my other videos that I'm heavily into canning. I did a lot of canning this past summer from the garden. So this bad boy is an excellent resource. This is a huge book. Everything is in here, folks. Tomato juice, pickles of all sorts, sauces, ketchup, curries, relish, juices, fruits, pie fillings. It's all in there. The recipes and how to actually process it and can it. Excellent, excellent book. Pick this up on Amazon. As a reloader, someone that makes their own ammunition, I've got to have a good reloading manual. This is the book from Lee. Good size book. I use Lee presses and Lee dies, so I use their reloading manual. Every caliber you'd want is in here. All your reloading data, which powder to use, all the reloading recipes for those of us that make our own ammunition. Gotta have that bad boy around. And I've also taken pictures of the pages that I use most often for the calibers I reload most, and those images are stored on my cell phone, so they're always with me. Also got a couple of the Hodgdon reloading manuals. I do use Hodgdon powders, so the Hodgdon manuals are also a great resource to have on hand. Another book I use in reloading, this one's called Propellant Profiles. Any powder that you can come across in a survival situation or anything that you have stored on hand, it's in here. You can look up the powder itself. It will give you all of the technical info on that powder, how it's manufactured, what it's used for, the calibers that are most common for it. Excellent resource for reloaders. Gunsmithing the AR-15. Since I built 2 AR-15s myself, this is a great resource. Anytime I need to drag those weapons out, do any kind of repairs or whatever with them, it's all in here. The tools needed, the processes to tear them apart and fix them. Excellent resource for the AR-15 owner. Gun Trader's Guide. These things come out quite often. Values are in here for various guns and the specs on them. This is great for if you're collecting guns and adding those to your survival stash, or if you're going to do any sort of trading or bartering. I've showed this book before, the Physician's Desk Reference, a must-have for medical emergencies and dosing. You can look up your medication in here. If you're stashing back antibiotics like I do for SHTF, you're going to need to know the dosages and what that medicine treats. You're going to have to look it up when there's not a doctor around and the hospitals don't exist anymore. This is the dude that's going to save your butt. You can look it up, find out the symptoms, what it's going to treat, contraindications, so you know what drugs not to use with the drug you're giving. Must have. These are cheap on Amazon. This is an older edition, which is still pertinent and has all the info you need. I think I gave $3 for this on Amazon. The other thing that I recommend, you got to have yourself a good map. This is detailed stuff for my area, Missouri. So I've got good detailed maps. This takes you all the way down to county roads. So every road is in here from Missouri, all the way down to the dirt gravel roads, boat ramps, campgrounds, and everything is on this. It's topographic. I also have digital maps on my cell phone that I keep on there of every county nearby. My home county is on there and every adjoining county. Those maps are down to the gravel road resolution too, and those are stored on my cell phone so that they're always with me. So there's just a sampling of what I keep on hand, always adding to this library. But suggestions, always looking for suggestions. What have you got in your survival library? What have you bought? What have you read that's good? What can you suggest? Let's share some ideas and bounce some things off of each other. I'm always looking for great ideas for more books, because this is where it's at, folks. When the internet goes down, which it will in SHTF, you've got to have stuff like this. You've got to be able to have this reference so that you can grab onto it. You're not going to have the internet. You can't pull up Google anymore to find out what's going on how to do something. You've got to have books. So would love to hear your suggestions, and we'll see you on the next video. Try to get something else cranked out during this 4-day weekend since we're off work, and may get a chance to do that food video or something else cool. Hope everybody has a happy, healthy, awesome Thanksgiving. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you again. Are you ready?